Hey Queen Lene. Anyways, part 6. I guess I keep rambling, but, I am tired, so my dog just went to his box. Anyways, like I said about the Bible, Genesis, that's how it works. In between, no one knows how the timeline actually truly works, because, once Adam and Eve took the bite of the apple from the second time, which no one knows what time frame it is, or when Abraham and Isaac, or whatever, it just said, from the something to something, and then Moses, and blah, 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 and then from this one to this one, and etc. Technically, that's the way it was, and, so, which reminds me, Aaron and I were planning to go into town tomorrow, up to the community health center, the dental clinic. I have an abscess again. There's this root canal, right? And the dentist looked at it the other day, it was a couple months ago, and he goes, "That's a beautiful root canal. I don't want to pull your tooth." Well, tooth's like half there, and I said, "Pull it." "No, no, no, you need to see an oral surgeon." Got a whole oral surgeon, $900. Got back to them, and he said, "Well, we could do it, but we really don't want it. Go to an oral surgeon." I said, "I don't have $900. So I milked it, now abscessed and popped last night. So Aaron's like, "Yeah, it's bleeding. We'll get to see you." And he said, "You always have bad luck on the weekends." So my nose problem could be the sinus problem of this tooth, but I gotta get that fixed. And hopefully I can get through till the 3rd when I get paid, and then I'm gonna have them yank the tooth. I'll have them yank a couple others too, even if I pay $35 each. And then we notice a wound on Doggy, we hope he doesn't have mange again. Damn, it costs about $500 every time to remove that, but hell, he's worth it. He's baby. But Aaron usually pays that. Usually I just like, "Well, you love baby, you handle it." And Aaron loves baby. Like right now, baby's curled up right there. He usually sleeps on my bed. That's one thing I like. I told Aaron, which, by the way, I told him this morning. I was going through this website about my favorite videos on MySpace. One was this army guy. You probably saw it in the Bolt, but this army guy's talking about tents. And he goes, "What is this pitiful thing for a tent?" He says, "Let me show you." He says, "In the U.S. Marine Corps, this would not house a soldier." And he goes on and on and on. If you've seen it, it's funny. But anyways, he talks about this army tent. Well, I told Aaron, "I know where to get some army tents for Texas." He said, "Cool." So my tent would have a king-size bed in it, and my dog would be sleeping on it. He sleeps on my bed. Right now it looks like a little round dog rounded him. You know how puppies are, or dogs that wrap themselves up like a little kitty. He's like in a little circle, not a little ball. It's like cute. Usually you know how he is. He's adorable. So, but anyways, Aaron and I were conversing, like I said, about religion basically, and I just said some of the Bible makes sense, some of it doesn't. So, how it goes. But oh, anyways, we were talking about this religion place. What is it? They're based out of California in the U.S. It's called Soul Survivor. It's a church. And I thought about joining up with it, I joined the Facebook version, and I said, that's pretty cool. And we were conversing about it, and I said, maybe, my calling's being a priestess. I don't know. Doubt it. No one wants a tranny anyways. Aaron said, "No one wants a tranny." Except for men who want it for sex fetishes. Which, by the way, Aaron tells me this. You're gonna laugh your butt off. I know you like herb. That's what you said. But anyways, Aaron says, Texas would come in handy to do my dad's bidding. I said, "What is your dad's bid?" "Well, my dad's a pothead." He said he smokes a Mexican dirt weed. I said, "That ain't any weed." He says, "No." He said, "Real weed's Northern Lights and White Rhino mixed together, or rocket fuel, or Aaron's tried everything, and I asked him about this Alaskan stuff. But anyways, Aaron says I could set up a tent and I grow my own out in Texas. then, if I get the prescription, it works anyways. That's cool. They're looking into it anyways for me. He's gonna find out the plants, that's cool. And then he said the other thing is, he says, you're out in the middle of the sticks, and you got like 500 acres, or 200, or 15. He says, you set up those tents. He says, you know what you could do out there to pay for your surgery? He says, I know connections that'll help you. Not you beautiful, but he was talking about me, and he says, porn videos. You're out in the middle of the sticks. He says, you own your own movie studio out there. No one's going to give a crap if you do porn videos. I said, crap. I mean, the man's thinking about money, but I don't think about money. I mean, I don't even think about it. We were talking about that today, we were talking about money. I think it was his finances. And I said something about money, and he said, we all should think about the greenbacks once in a while, He said, we're only human. And I said, yeah, possibly. Looking at Spider, I'll get to him later in the lampshade. And I said, why? And Aaron said, well, think of it, everyone needs to think about greenbacks. He said, doctors do. He said, all these high prices, they do. Companies rip you off, and, surgery should be cheaper, but it's all about the greenbacks. And, it was like I said in one of the videos, partly coming up, leading up to this, about transgender people getting paid for Medicare. I basically said to a friend of mine, I'm not going to even look around for it, because I don't believe the taxpayers should pay for it. That's my truth opinion on it, And I said this in a video, and I said this to Aaron. I said, many people shouldn't be paying for it, Beautiful, gorgeous Queen Lene. And I said, even if I found a way to get it done through Medicare or Medicaid, it'd be abusing the system. And frankly, I don't want to abuse the system. And frankly, I don't want to push for it, because the doctors I've talked to that I know through connections, they said, you can get it done too that way if you know what you're digging for. But I don't have the motivation to go dig 20 million feet to go find out how to have a free sex change. It's just not me. And they respect me for that. And I said, the taxpayers shouldn't pay for it. And about, what was it, Washington, it was an article somewhere, like 16 female to males, out of all of them that were disabled, 15 went back to work after their sex change, female to males. And there's male to females, there's like, I don't remember how many were there, but like every one of them, except for 2, went back to work. Out of them all. So you tell me, if you're disabled, So basically the bottom line was, like I said, something or other to Aaron. I don't think the taxpayers should pay for it. I'm not going to go dig holes. He's like, oh, I could look for you. I said, just let it go, I'll pay for it my own way. But his idea of porn videos didn't sound too bad, And I was like, well, if we get land out there, tent would be a perfect cover, all we'd have to do is get the right camera. So he's like, yeah, we have the right producers. So I said, that sounds pretty good, in my opinion. So in my opinion, it sounds great. So anyways, porn videos sound not bad if I had to go that route, but the other route I don't think I could do. I'll be right back.